What's up, everybody? Eric here with another EWE Reviews. Today I'm talking about Secret Invasion Season 1. Before we get into that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But yeah, this is the review for Secret Invasion Season 1. The show ran from... Actually, the format's going to be... I'm going to do some talking about some information, I'm going to give you my score, and then I'm giving you my thoughts in a spoiler section. For this, I'm not going to give you any spoiler-free thoughts. If you're watching this, hopefully all you care about is the score if you haven't watched it. But yeah, I need to talk about the spoilers for giving my actual thoughts here. So yeah, that's where we're going to go. So show ran from June 21st to July 26th. The cast included Ben Mendelsohn, Olivia Colman, Emilia Clarke, Kingsley Ben-Adir, Samuel L. Jackson, and Don Cheadle. And the basic plot of the show is that the Skrulls have invaded Earth. They've infiltrated a lot of our big military powers, countries, and things like that, and they're posing as humans. There's roughly about 1 million of them on Earth, I want to say is what they said in the show. So going from that, this is supposed to be like an espionage show and things like that, and it doesn't do a great job of that. But yeah, let's move on now to, do I recommend you watch this show? No. I think you can go watch a lot of other espionage shows or movies that are way better than this. So my score for this, for Season 1, I'm giving this a 5 out of 10. I think it's mediocre. I feel like you could watch something else that's actually way more entertaining, and you'd actually feel like you're getting more out of it than this. It just, to me, this does not feel like it was worth the wait or even the watch. I gotta say that every week, it wasn't like I was like, oh, excited, new Secret Invasion. It was more, why did I choose to review this instead of Star Trek Strange New Worlds for this couple weeks? I made the mistake there. I should have done Strange New Worlds. I still want to do those episodes, but it's going to be... I know it's going to come out late, so that sucks, but it is what it is. Like and subscribe. So yeah, that's my score, 5 out of 10. Don't recommend you watch it. So I'm going to give you guys a warning, and I'm going to go into my spoilers section. I'm going to talk about what I thought was good, what I thought was bad, and we'll go from there. So here's your warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, welcome into the spoiler section. Let's just go through it. Let's start off with the good. I thought that this show had the bones in there that were good. I was just like, okay, there's things in here that I'm like, I really like. And I thought, okay, you can build on this, build on that, build on that. But the show never really does that. And it was just like, okay. And it does have good moments where I'm like, this is really cool. I actually like the idea of what the villains are doing. Their cause, I didn't think was bad at all. I was just like, this is actually not a bad cause. But we'll get back to that in a second. And then the action, it does have good action sequences, some fights that I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. Not amazing, but it's like, okay, that's acceptable. At least there's some action in here. Even though that last fight was weird. I'm still glad they did it, but it was just weird. So yeah, let's now move. I wish I could say there's more good, but they're really... Of anything I'd say, like, the show does really well, I can't really think of too much. Like, even the espionage felt like it was a downgrade. I saw, like, even during the time, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is also an espionage, and I was like, oh, that does espionage way better. That actually looks cool. This didn't. It just felt like they were doing a lot of espionage tropes, but without, like, having that idea of how to work it. So yeah, let's move on to the bad. For having to wait so long for Nick Fury as the lead, it didn't work. It actually made me like Nick Fury even less. So he had this moment where, like, he yells at Talos saying, like, oh, I always had to clean up your messes. But the reality is, even Talos says, like, he wouldn't be in the position he was if it wasn't for the Skrulls. They're the ones that really helped him gain his power. And then him acting like, oh, I have to clean up your messes. Like, no, dude. They're cleaning up your mess. Because a lot of things were his fault, too. Even when you think about the end of the show, the things he ends up doing, like, he's the one that caused all these problems. It's not because he made that lie that he told him, oh, I'm going to find you a planet, never did. It's like, a lot of this is Nick Fury's fault. They did not do a good job of making him look like a great character. It actually made him look worse, in my opinion. And they kept mentioning, like, oh, how old he is, how, like, he's a shell of himself. It's like, you guys aren't really helping the fact that this is the main character we're supposed to like. It didn't work for me. And then, why did Maria Hill have to die? I honestly felt like they killed her off, and it did nothing to the story as well. Even by the end, like, oh, they were doing things more for Talos than they were for Maria. It's like, she became an afterthought. It's like, so why'd you kill her? Why was she even in this show? I was kind of hoping she was going to be a driving force for the show, and she wasn't. I was just like, this sucks. That would have been the character that's like, oh, she was actually a Skrull all along. Nope, wasn't her. So that kind of annoyed me, especially when I really liked that character. And then they got a little bit too trigger happy with killing people off. Like the first 4 episodes, they kind of have like, oh, someone dies, even though like in the second episode the character wasn't that important. It was just some guy that was being interrogated, a Skrull that was being interrogated. It's still like you guys went with that same trope each episode. It just didn't work for me. And even when it was like Gaia's turn out, even I was talking to Siska and it was just like, Gaia's alive. There's no way they're killing Gaia off like 2 episodes after killing Maria Hill. It's like, so that was like a fake out. And then the next episode, oh, Talos is dead. It's like, stop doing this exact same thing. Each episode you're trying to say, oh, they killed them off, they killed them off. It's like, that's horrible writing. I didn't think that was good writing at all. Alright, so moving along with them not doing good with killing characters off, then there's Gravik. And like I said before, the cause actually sounded good, but then by the end they just made him into a generic bad guy. Like, it's like, oh, but we want to make sure for our people. But then he started killing off his own people. It's like, Gravik. That was not a smart thing. Like, you make yourself look like you care about the other Skrulls, but then you do things that's like, oh, you don't care about the Skrulls, you just care about yourself. So they made him into a generic bad guy, and then in the end I was just like, okay, so is he trying to be, like, is he trying to help the other Skrulls out? No, he just wanted superpowers for himself, and then he can take over the world. Just like, that was very dumb. Like, you guys probably could have taken over the world without you getting superpowers. Like, the plan to start World War III was a good plan, and there was a part where, like, it was gonna work. If he wouldn't have taken Gaia with them that one time, they would have started World War III. But no, they took Gaia with them. It's like, oh, dude, you're an idiot. So, moving on now to Gaia and Gravik. So here's one thing that, why did Fury give them the harvest? Now, I get that he wanted to make sure that Gravik was killed, but Gaia kills Gravik using the powers from Captain Marvel. So why didn't he just call Captain Marvel to come kill Gravik? Because, I mean, technically, even with the other powers he'd already accumulated, Captain Marvel could have still killed them. So all he did was create a potential enemy in Gaia, but he also maybe could have given it to... He gave it to Gravik, and what if Gravik wins that fight? Now he's screwed, because now he has an enemy with the power of all other heroes. That just seemed very dumb. I didn't think that was a good move. But let's go back to Gaia for a second. Because I said potential enemy with her. Well, we can't ignore one huge fact. Gaia did not betray Gravik because she wasn't for the cause anymore. Gaia betrayed Gravik because he was responsible for her mother's death and later her father's. So she's only betraying him because he's like doing things to her family. It doesn't mean she's against the cause. The cause was humans are screwing us over and they're not letting us live in our own skin. And it's like, that's still true even after she has her powers. So it's like, this isn't a case of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't know why Fury did that. And it's like, I just thought that was a very dumb mistake. And it just, for Nick Fury being so smart like the show and movies claim to be, that was very stupid. So yeah, that was one thing that I just like, I don't think I can get over because that just did not work for me. And then another thing, just going off that ending because I was just so bad. Gravik and Fury supposedly have that face-off, but it's not even Fury. That's Gaia posing as Fury. And it's just like, so the one thing you guys kept like trying to get us to be like, oh, you're eventually gonna, and we don't even get that. And it's like, oh, that really sucks. Actually, I just remember, I'll come back to it. One good thing, I did like the Rhodey twist. However, the fact that they didn't answer it is also like a bad thing. It's like, how long had he been a Skrull? And it's like, that was easy just to tell right there. How long has he been a Skrull? They don't tell us. Yeah. This was so weird. Another bad thing, and I'm sorry that I'm just piling it on at this point, but I just need to just say this out. Why was this not a movie? Like, the story itself does not need 4 hours to be told, because it's roughly 4 hours since a lot of the episodes are like 20-something minutes. I want to say 4 of the 6 are like 20-something minutes, and the first 2 are long, but like there's so many things you can cut out. I would just cut out the Maria Hill thing. It did not do anything for the story. It didn't use anything. Like, I would have just taken her out. There's a lot of things there that I was just like, oh, you don't need that for like a movie, so why was this a show? All you did was take a story that you could have told in like 2.5 hours, and you extended it to like 4 or 5 hours, and it didn't really do much with that extra time. You kind of just made it boring. So you could have cut this down, condensed it, made it a movie, maybe make some money off of it. For a show, it just did not work for me. Another thing that I just have to say this because I hated that the opening credits. I thought they were so dumb. I hated the song. It didn't work for me. I hated how it looked like an AI generated like pictures. I was just like, oh, at least do something that like feels cool. Like I like the Star Trek Strange New Worlds intro where it's like, okay, they take the old song, they make it new. It's like, oh, okay, and seeing it go around. I'm like, that's cool. This wasn't. Like most of the time, it was like a skip, 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 skip. It's like, that didn't work for me. I wish this show did not do a lot of things I thought were good. Again, why I gave it a mediocre score. And someone might be wondering, oh, why did I give the season a 5 when most episodes were 6? I'm like, but this is me putting the sum of all its parts, and it never came together the way I wanted. So to me, this was a 5 out of 10. It was mediocre. And for Marvel, I would expect more. Like everything I just listed, I expect more from Marvel, but I didn't get more. It was like, come on, guys, you've done this for so long. You should know how to put something good out. This wasn't even good. So yeah, for that reason, I can only give it a mediocre score because I expect more from Marvel. They have the money. At this point, this is before the writer's strike and all that. They have the writers. They have this to give them out more than just this turd. So yeah. I do want to do a show review for Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I don't know if I'm going to do the entire all episodes. Probably not at this point. I might just pick out a few and do those. And also do a review for the season. I don't know if I'm going to do other shows coming up soon. Maybe. I got to figure out what to do there. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of this show? Did you like it? Did you hate it? I'm really curious to know. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.